the dragon's heart, coveted by all on this continent, yet exclusively possessed by a family named Ragnar, only because dragon blood flows through their veins. This allowed the Ragnar to awake the dragon's heart while developing special physiques, granting them innate top-tier talent in magic, strength, and swordsmanship. But by coincidence, I, the Ragnar family heir, never awakened the dragon's heart. Little did I know this was all the doing of my mentor who taught me swordsmanship for 20 years. Now, seeing my Rose Palace completely burned to the ground, my mentor Landon also removed his hypocritical mask. He said, "A nickname Ragnar Waste truly suits you well, young Master Tyr. Not only is your talent poor, all these years you never once suspected the swordsmanship I taught you was flawed." Hearing this, I angrily replied, "And so, from the beginning you approached me as a teacher. Your goal was to forge me into a true waste, just to betray our Rose Palace to others." Unexpectedly, in the very next moment, Landon swung his sword and severed one of my arms. He then said, "Even now, how can you still think it's all my fault? In Ragnar, where the strong rule, only victors deserve to live. If you had the continent's greatest talent, no matter how I taught you, you could have at least protected Rose Palace, or even saved your mother, who begged me daily to teach you properly." As Landon finished speaking, he ordered his men to drag in a cold corpse. It was my mother. I understood that Ragnar lived by the principle and respect the strong, despise the weak, but I would never forgive anyone who harmed my mother. Yet just as I raised my sword to strike Landon, my heart was suddenly pierced by a rapidly approaching blade. Seeing Landon bow respectfully to that person, I guessed he must be the mastermind behind this betrayal. As my consciousness faded, how desperately I wanted to see clearly who that person was. At the same time, in the depths of my dark consciousness, a data panel lit up. Before I could read what it said, a sharp sword suddenly thrust toward my eyes. I saw Landon, who had made me the Ragnar Waste, standing before me. He said, "Today's lesson ends here." I was confused. Was this the so-called life flashing before my eyes before death? Ironically, after death, what came to mind was Landon's former appearance. Just as this thought formed, the panel in my consciousness appeared again, and displayed a tutorial task, instructing me to punch Landon in the face. After repeatedly testing, I discovered Landon couldn't see this thing. Although I didn't understand what was happening, surely the gods wanted me to vent my anger before death, so I respectfully obliged. To my surprise, the feeling of the punch felt absolutely real. Before I could think further, Landon suddenly became filled with killing intent. His sword violently struck toward my waist. He said, "Ah, young master, I believe I just told you today's lesson is over. I understand your feelings, but you don't have much time left. There's no way you can improve dramatically before the awakening ceremony. But let me advise you, the Ragnar family has never fought with fists, and never used their mentors as objects for venting anger." Meanwhile, others training nearby began mocking me, blaming his teacher for his lack of talent. Is he really a Ragnar descendant? He must have been picked from a garbage heap. Hearing these snide remarks, feeling the dust of the training ground, and the pain from my waist where Landon struck me, I suddenly realized this probably wasn't a vision before death, but rather my dead self returning to the timeline of 10 years ago when I was 17. At that moment, the panel lit up again, because I completed the tutorial task. As a reward, my Ragnar talent would soon be activated. Then the words, "Chance, will you receive the reward now?" appeared. Without hesitation, I selected "Oh yes." Instantly, light radiated from my heart as the reward was distributed. The panel showed that from now on, all my abilities would improve at an astonishing rate. It seems I've awakened a power-up system that only